Assalamu alaikum. I am Mohammad Jahangir Alam, lecturer in physics. I welcome you all in my online class. First of all, thanks to Almighty that I am still okay and carrying on my regular studies. Dear students, I also hope all of you are doing well and carrying on your regular studies, staying at home by the mercy of Almighty. Dear student, today we are going to discuss a very important and realistic topic which is very closely involved to our daily life, right? Today we are going to discuss an important topic from 10th chapter of physics first paper, that is the chapter of ideal gas and kinetics of gas, okay? And today we are going to discuss dew point and relative humidity. Dear student, first we have to know what dew point is and what relative humidity is, okay? You know, dew point, it's a temperature. As you know, melting point, freezing point, boiling point, these are the temperature. Here points mean temperature. The temperature at which a given mass of air just becomes saturated by the water vapor present in it is called dew point of that. Or you can define dew point as the temperature at which dew start to condense or start disappearing is called dew point, right? So now we can see the definition of dew point. Okay, dear student, you can write the definition like this: the temperature at which a given mass of air becomes just saturated by the water vapor present in it is called dew point, okay? So this is a very important definition for your exam. Now we can see a question which is remain almost common in every exam, and the question is, what is meant by the dew point of 15 degree Celsius, right? So dear student, dew point 15 degree Celsius, it means that at 15 degree Celsius a given mass of air becomes just saturated by the water vapor present in it, okay? Or you can also define, or you can explain the statement as that at 15 degree Celsius a certain amount of air becomes saturated by the water vapor present in it, or at 15 degree Celsius dew start to condense or start disappearing, right? Now we are going to see what relative humidity is. Dear student, the term humidity is a very common word in our daily life. We are hearing this word from our weather forecast or from our daily newspaper, right? Actually, to express the dryness or wetness of air surrounding us, we use the term humidity. So humidity means the amount of water vapor present in a certain amount of air surrounding us, right? It is very important for our health and different type of articles or product which depends on humidity, and humidity depends on temperature, right? The capacity of bearing water vapor by air is also known as the humidity. If the temperature of air increases or become more, then its capacity of bearing water vapor increases. If the temperature of air decreases, then its capacity also decreases. So we can say that the capacity of bearing or holding water vapor by the air depends on its temperature, right? There are two types of humidity. First one is relative humidity and second one is absolute humidity. First one is absolute humidity and second one is relative humidity, okay? So now we are going to the definition of two types of humidity. Dear student, we can give the definition of absolute humidity as at a particular place and time the mass of water vapor present per unit volume of air is called absolute humidity of that place. Okay, it is also a very important definition. Now we can say a comprehension based question or comprehensive question like, what is mean by the absolute humidity of air is 10 to the power minus 3 kg per meter cube, right? It means that in 1 cubic meter air 10 to the power minus 3 kg water vapor is present, or at a particular temperature in a particular place 10 to the power minus 3 kg of water vapor present in 1 cubic meter of air, right? Dear student, now we are going to see the definition of relative humidity. It's a very important topic or important definition of this chapter, and the definition says that the ratio of mass of water vapor present in a given volume of air at a particular temperature to the mass of water vapor required to saturate the same volume of air at that temperature, right? Actually, relative humidity is a ratio of the mass of water vapor present in air at a particular temperature to the mass of required water vapor to saturate it of the volume of water at the same temperature, right? So, mathematically we can express the relative humidity as it's a ratio of the mass of water vapor present in given volume of air at a particular temperature to the mass of water vapor needed to saturate the volume of that water at the same temperature. Okay, dear student, here this ratio is equal to the ratio of the pressure of saturated water vapor at a dew point, and pressure of saturated water vapor at the room temperature. So ratio of this and this is the same, but this is more convenient to calculate the relative humidity, and the relative humidity can be expressed as by R. So R is equal to, here the pressure of saturated water vapor at dew point. This vapor pressure is denoted by a small f, and the pressure of saturated water vapor at room temperature, this also denoted by capital F. So this is the mathematical expression for relative humidity. Usually we express the ratio as percentage in this way. So this is the mathematical expression for the relative humidity. Okay, dear student, using this expression we will solve many mathematical problem which is very important for your exam, right? Dear students, now we are going to some comprehensive question which is very important for your exam, and the questions are, all the questions are related to relative humidity. Okay, and the first question is, what is mean by the relative humidity of air is 60%, right? Already we have see the mathematical expression of relative humidity. From the expression we can see that the amount of water vapor required to saturate a certain volume of air, 60% of the required water vapor is present at that volume of air at the particular temperature, or 60% of required water vapor which is required to saturate the air of a certain volume of air is present in that volume of air of that particular temperature. Okay, so this is a very important comprehension based question. Now we can see, why do wet clothes dry up more quickly in winter than in rainy season? Dear student, you know, in winter the relative humidity is very less comparative to the relative humidity in rainy season, right? So when we open a wet clothes in the air, then since the relative humidity is very less in winter, so the water particle remain in the wet cloth, dry up quickly, or that's water particle is absorbed by the air surrounding it very quickly, right? Though the temperature in rainy season is more, but It's due to the relative humidity. In winter, the relative humidity is very less, and in rainy season, the relative humidity is very more. That's why the wet clothes dry up more quickly in the rainy season. Now, they said that why do we feel more uncomfortable in Cox's Bazar than in Dhaka at the same temperature? If suppose the temperature of a day is 30 degree in Dhaka and in Cox's Bazar, but in Cox's Bazar the relative humidity is very more since the sea is very close to the Cox's Bazar. So here there the relative humidity is very more compared to the relative humidity in Dhaka. When we get sweated, the sweat from our body is dry up quickly in Dhaka because here the relative humidity is less, but the sweat from our body will be dry up in Cox's Bazar very slowly. So with a sweat body we feel very uncomfortable. That's why we can say that we do feel very uncomfortable in Cox's Bazar than in Dhaka at the same temperature. Okay. Now they say that why do we use glycerin in winter? In winter the relative humidity is very less, so air absorbs water particle from our body. But if we use glycerin in our skin, glycerin is a special type of chemical which is known as water absorbent. That is, it will absorb water particle from the air. So in this case we can save our skin to become dry in winter. So that's why we use glycerin in winter. And lastly they said that why do we feel comfortable under a moving fan with sweating body? That is shown when you get sweated, if you stand under a moving fan, you will feel comfort, because with the air of the moving fan the sweat from our body will be disappear. But when the sweat from our body will convert from liquid to vapor, then it requires a heat which is known as latent heat. The latent heat is absorbed from our body and the temperature of our body decreases. That's why we feel comfort standing under a moving fan with sweat body, right? So all the questions are mentioned in our textbook and answer also given in our textbook. I hope you will read this question and answer from your textbook, and which are very important for your exam, right? Dear student, now we are going to see another important topic. Dear student, now we are going to see an instrument which is known as dry and wet bulb hygrometer. Usually this instrument is used in our weather forecasting station, and the instrument consists of two almost similar like mercury thermometer on a wooden board with a scale or calibrating scale. One thermometer which is denoted by T1. This is a normal thermometer. It gives the reading of room temperature, right? And the temperature of normal air is denoted by theta1, that is temperature of dry bulb. And another thermometer which is denoted by T2, right? The bulb of this thermometer is wrapped or covered with a wick, and the other end of the wick is dipped in water. And the temperature of this thermometer obviously lowered from the temperature shown in the thermometer T1. This thermometer is known as dry bulb, and this thermometer is known as wet bulb. So in this instrument they use two thermometer, so that's why it is known as dry and wet bulb thermometer. So using this instrument we can determine the dew point of a day, and measuring the dew point of a day and using these two temperature we can determine the relative humidity of that environment or air, right? So dear student, if the dew point of that moment or of that day is denoted by theta, if the dew point of a day. Is theta, then according to Glaisher's theorem, a scientist Glaisher gave the relation between theta 1, theta 2 and dew point theta, and which is expressed as theta is equal to theta 1 minus g into theta 1 minus theta 2. Dear student, using this expression, we can determine the dew point of a day. Here, theta 1 is the temperature of the dry bulb, theta 2 is the temperature of the wet bulb, and G is known as Glaisher constant. Right? And the value of G are different in different temperature. Right? The value of G is given in the question. So using the value, we can determine the dew point of a day. And measuring the dew point of a day, we can determine the relative humidity of that day. Okay? That is why now we are going to see some important mathematical problem related to the dew point and relative humidity. Right, dear student, here is a very important mathematical problem. In the problem, they said that in a particular day, the readings of dry and wet bulbs are respectively 30 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius. That is, in a dry and wet bulb thermometer, there are two thermometers. The dry bulb reads 30 degrees Celsius and the wet bulb, which is connected with water, reads 28 degrees Celsius. The saturated water vapor at 26 degree, 28 degree and 30 degree are respectively 25.25 10 to the power minus 3 meter, 28.45 10 to the power minus 3 meter, and 31.85 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure. G means Glaisher constant. G is equal to 1.65 at 30 degrees Celsius. That is, Glaisher constant at 30 degrees Celsius is 1.65. So we have to determine first the dew point. Right? They said that determine the dew point. So to determine dew point, dear student, we know here the temperature of the dry bulb 30 degrees Celsius, which is denoted by theta. Temperature of dry bulb, which is denoted by theta 1 is equal to 30 degrees Celsius, and that of the wet bulb, temperature of wet bulb, which is denoted by theta 2 is equal to 28 degree Celsius. Right? Glaisher constant G is equal to 1.65. So we have to determine the value of dew point. So dew point theta is equal to what? Right? We know theta is equal to theta 1 minus G into theta 1 minus theta 2. Okay? So using the value of theta 1, that is 30 degrees Celsius minus G 1.65 into 30 degrees Celsius minus 28 degree Celsius. So after the calculation, you will get 26.7 degree Celsius. So this is the dew point of that day or of that moment. Right? Dear student, I hope you got it. Now we are going to determine the relative humidity of that day. Right. Dear student, to determine the relative humidity, you know, it is a ratio of the saturated vapor pressure at dew point to the saturated vapor pressure at room temperature, right? And you know the expression is R is equal to F divided by F into 100%. So here F is the saturated vapor pressure at dew point and capital F is the saturated vapor pressure at room temperature. Here the dew point is 26.7 that we have calculated in our previous calculation, and the saturated vapor pressure at 26.7 is not given here, right? The saturated vapor pressure at 26 degree, 28 degree and 30 degree are given, but we need the saturated vapor pressure at 26.7 degrees Celsius. And another is saturated vapor pressure at room temperature, that is room temperature is 30 degree, but the saturated vapor pressure at 30 degree is given here. The saturated vapor pressure at 30 degree is 31.85 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure. So dear student, first we have to calculate the saturated vapor pressure at dew point, that is saturated vapor pressure at 26.7 degree Celsius, that is required to calculate relative humidity. Okay. So now we are going to determine the saturated vapor pressure at room temperature. Here the saturated vapor pressure at room temperature 26 degree, 28 degree respectively 25.25 in 10 to the power minus 3 meter, and that at 28 degree is 28.45. But the dew point lies between these two temperatures, 26 and 28. So we can use a technique like that for that solution. For 28 minus 26 or 2 degrees Celsius, the change in vapor pressure, right, is, so for 28 degree the vapor pressure was 28.45 and that in 26 degree is 25.25. So we can write 28.45 minus 25.25 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter, or by subtracting this we can get 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure, right? So this change is due to the change in 2 degrees Celsius temperature. So for 1 degree Celsius temperature, the change in vapor pressure is 3.2 divided by 2 or 1.6 or 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure, right? Now for the change in 0.7 degree Celsius temperature, the vapor pressure is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 multiplied by 1.12 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure, right? Here shown, this is the change for 0.7. So we know our dew point is 26.7, that is the saturated vapor pressure at 26.7 degrees Celsius, right, is, so for 26 degree Celsius it was 25.25 into 10 to the power 3, and for 0.7 degrees Celsius it was 1.12. So it will be 25.25 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus 1.12 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure. So it will be 26.37 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure. Right? Dear student, this is required to calculate the relative humidity. Now we are going to calculate the final requirement. The saturated vapor pressure at room temperature which is denoted by which is F. F is equal to 31.85 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure, and the saturated vapor pressure at dew point, which is denoted by small f. Small f is equal to 26.37 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure. Right? So we have to determine relative humidity R is equal to what? Okay. We know R is equal to small f divided by capital F into 100%. Here small f, that is saturated vapor pressure dew point, small f 26.37 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter mercury pressure, and that in the room temperature 31.85 into 10 to the power minus 3 mercury pressure. So after the calculation you will get 82.79%. Right? So dear student, I hope you got it, and I believe that our today's lecture will help you a lot for your upcoming exam. Right? So you need to practice this type of problem at your home from your textbook. You also get this type of problem and exactly the very problem in your textbook. Right? But if you have any confusion, you can call us. I will try to help you. So dear student, thank you very much being with me in my class. May Allah bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum.